الله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبه نستعين وما توفيقي إلا بالله عليه توكلت إليه أنيب أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, all thanks and glorifications are due to Allah Ta'ala. We thank Him for another opportunity to be gathered in this masjid of Federal University of Technology, Mina, to take lessons from the verses of the glorious Quran. Today, the date of today is 21st of Ramadan, 1446 years after the Hijrah of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which is equivalent to 21st of March 2025. And we are taking lessons from Surah Al-A'raf, that is chapter 7 of the glorious Quran. We stopped last in verse 95. Inshallah, today we'll continue from verse 96. We pray Allah Ta'ala keep us on the path of guidance. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولو أن أهل القرى آمنوا واتقوا لفتحنا عليهم بركات من السماء والأرض ولكن كذبوا فأخذناهم بما كانوا يكسبون.
Allah Ta'ala says, ولو أن أهل القرى آمنوا واتقوا لفتحنا عليهم بركات من السماء والأرض ولكن كذبوا فأخذناهم بما كانوا يكسبون. In the verses before this, Allah told us about cities, communities, nations, and towns that were destroyed. Why? Because of their attitude towards the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to them. These cities and communities, for example, about 5 of them were mentioned. After Nabiuna Adam alayhi salam, Allah told us about the people of Nuh alayhi salam. Allah Ta'ala told us the people of Ad, that Nabiuna Hud was sent to them. Then Allah Ta'ala told us about the people of Thamud, that Nabiuna Saleh was sent to them. Allah told us about the people of Lut, that their prophet Nabiuna Lut was sent to them, and then Allah told us about the people of Shu'aib, Ashabu Madian. All these cities, they rejected the faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent their messengers to deliver to them. They were arrogant. Some of them, because of what Allah, almost all of them, because of what Allah Ta'ala has given them, they took it for granted. Some of them, they feel they are powerful, they are strong. Some of them, they take advantage of the weak. Some of them, they were so corrupt, like the people of Shu'aib. They promote banditry, kidnapping people, or people's properties and resources. All sorts of evil things they did. As a result of those things, Allah Ta'ala wiped them away. So Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْقُرَىٰ, if only the people of these cities, أهل القرى, the people of these cities, of these towns, of these communities that were mentioned, and even of other communities that will come after, if only such communities amanu wattaqaw, if only they have believed and they live their life guided by piety and fear of Allah, lafatahna alayhim barakatin min as-sama'i wal ard, we would have opened to them the doors and windows of blessings from the heavens and from the earth. They will have been blessed to enjoy the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all angles. وَلَكِنْ كَذَّبُوا, but they denied Allah Ta'ala. They denied Allah, they denied the favors of Allah, and they refused to do what is right. فَأَخَذْنَاهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ, so we get hold of them, meaning we punish them بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ, as a result of what they commit, the evil things they used to do. So Allah mentioned barakat, that is blessings. Blessings of Allah Ta'ala is what should be sought for in every community. As said earlier, it is not plenty or number that matters, but it is rather a blessing. If you have little resources and Allah bless that resources, you will benefit from that and you will benefit others. If you have very little of anything, even little knowledge, but that knowledge is a blessed one, you will benefit yourself and you benefit others. But if that knowledge is not blessed, you will cause more problem to the community or society as a result of arrogance, misuse of the knowledge, and so many other things. If it is money, if it is not blessed, you have a huge amount of money, you will become attached to it, you will be enslaved to it, and you will use it in a way and manner that will cause more evil to the community or society. You will hardly invest it in a way and manner that will be beneficial. Even life itself, if life is a blessed life, even if you live for a short period of time in this dunya, the life that Allah has given you, if it is blessed, you will see that a lot will benefit from you. But if the life is not blessed, you will live very long years on earth, but nothing to count about what you have sort of contributed to yourself or for your akhirah. So in everything, seeking for blessing is the best. Seek for the blessings of Allah in your life. Seek for the blessings of Allah in your resources. Seek for the blessing of Allah in your knowledge. Seek for the blessings of Allah in all these things. And from there, it will become beneficial to you and beneficial to your community. One of our predecessors, Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawzi, while discussing about blessings and how you can determine whether what you have is a blessing and you are benefiting from it, or rather it's a punishment, and therefore you are losing. He said, if you realize that the more you get money, the more kind you are to others. The more you get resources, the more others benefit from you, then that money or resources is a blessed one. But if you realize that the more you get money, the more you become so much thirsty of it. The more you get money, the more you are attached to it. The more you get resources, the more you are attached to it. You don't want it to get finished. You don't want to share it with others. Then that particular resources is not a blessing, but it's a punishment, even if it is a money. The same thing, power. Power, the more you become more powerful, people respect you, and then they elevate you. The more you become powerful or you amass power, and you see the more people come closer to you, the more people pray for you, the more you come closer to people, then that particular power is a blessing to you. Because Rasulullah said the best leaders among you are the leaders that you pray for them, they pray for you. You are happy to meet them, they are happy to meet you. But if you realize that the more you become a leader, the more people run away from you and curse you and feel bad about you and then say negative things about you, if you feel like that, then that particular leadership is not a blessing, it's a punishment. The same thing he said regarding knowledge. If you realize that the more knowledgeable you are, the more humble you are. The more knowledge you acquire, the more you are humble, then that particular knowledge is a blessing. But if you see that the more you acquire knowledge, the more arrogant you are, the more you acquire knowledge, the more you look down upon others, then that particular knowledge is not a blessing, but it's a punishment. So in life, blessings is what people should sought for. How do you get these blessings? Allah Ta'ala mentioned two things here. وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْقُرَىٰ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا. If only they put iman, belief, and fear of Allah. With this, we can now understand that one thing that you need regarding what Allah has blessed you with, for that thing to be blessed, one, associate it with iman. Attach it with iman. Iman means you believe that the source of that is Allah. You believe that Allah is the one that gave you that. And whatever you do with that particular resources, you are doing it in a way and manner that is pleasing to Allah because of your belief in Allah. And then at-taqwa, fear of Allah. How do you use these resources? Fear of Allah will control you. You will not misuse these resources in a way and manner that will cause harm or in a wasteful manner. You will manage that particular resources and then it will become blessed. And the Nabi is saying, for you to get a morsel or a drop of water to drink and say, Alhamdulillah, you thank Allah. Allah can be pleased with you just because of that. So if you appreciate what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, and you get the resources, you appreciate Allah, then it shows that that particular thing you are enjoying is a blessing. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam usually prayed for blessings. He prayed for blessings in what we do. For example, blessings in the fruits and food of Medina. He will say, oh Allah, put blessings in our sa'i, in our mood, in our measurement. Let there be blessings in the food. Let there be blessing. If there is a blessing in a land, you see a small portion of land, you can farm and crop what will be enough to satisfy so many people. And you can see a little food will be enough for a lot. Rasulullah said, the food of 2 people can be okay for 3 people or even 4. The food of 4 people can be okay for 8 people. If it is a blessed resources, it is something that can go around. But if there is no blessing, you will see it in plenty, but people will still be complaining. Why? Because there is no blessing in it. So Rasul would ask for the blessings of Allah Ta'ala in the crops, in the measurement of the people of Medina. Also, if people get married, Rasul will pray for blessing, because marriage is a union. You come together to stay with someone you never knew. For example, you never knew the whole life story about the person, a new wife or a new husband. You come to stay together. One of the prayers of Rasul is say, Barakallahu lakuma baraka. May Allah bless that particular union. If Allah bless the union, you will enjoy it. Yes, sometimes you look at blessing. It's not necessarily giving birth to children. Birth to children is part of blessing, but that's not the only blessing. You can marry a wife. If Allah did not bless you with children, He can bless you with other things. Because blessings are so many things, they are beyond counting. I mean, you can have a marriage without having an issue at all. And it can be a blessed one. Sad example of Aisha radiallahu anha, the wife of Rasul. How many children has she? She has no children with Rasul, but the marriage is a blessed one. So it's not all about getting children alone. It's one of the blessings. So what we are saying here is that the blessings of Allah is what you should be seeking for. Not quantity, but quality. Not plenty, but blessed. By the time you look for the blessed, then you have it, everything at your disposal. So Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْقُرَىٰ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَكِنْ كَذَّبُوا. But they deny Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَخَذْنَاهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. So we get hold of them and punish them because of what they commit by their own selves. أَفَأَمِنَ أَهْلُ الْقُرَىٰ
أفأمن أهل القرى أن يأتيهم بأسنا بياتا وهم نائمون.
أفأمن أهل القرى أن يأتيهم بأسنا بياتا وهم نائمون. Now, you see, Allah told us the story of people that came and they were no more around. They were wiped away. They stayed their life and they are no more existing. And then their story was kept for us to serve as a lesson for us. Now these people are no more there. How do we supposed to conduct our life? We take lessons from their life. Allah will now give us another story that is closer to us. And that is the story of Musa alayhi salam. After Nabiyyuna Shu'aib, the next story that Allah will tell us is about Musa alayhi salam. But before that story, Allah Ta'ala gave us a lot of things about the way and manner people conduct themselves that usually land them into trouble and what they are supposed to do to avoid falling into that particular trouble. So one of it, Allah Ta'ala mentioned regarding what led to the destructions of these communities that came earlier before now. Afa amina ahlul qura an ya'tiyahum ba'suna bayatan wa hum na'imun. Afa amina ahlul qura. Do the people of the city feel scared? Amina ahlul qura. They feel scared. They feel comfortable. They took things for granted. An ya'tiyahum ba'suna bayatan, that our punishment cannot come to them bayatan wa hum na'imun. Our punishment cannot come to them while they are in the state of sleep, maybe at night, meaning unnoticed, and our punishment can come to them. People take things for what? For granted. Because you are enjoying, you feel nothing will happen. What you are doing, you feel nothing, you feel scared. For example, you have money, you continue to spend anyhow. You have opportunity, you stretch your leg and hand, you're going to do anything. You feel nothing will happen because yes, some will say, I have arrived, isn't it? Because he has arrived now, so nobody should talk to him. No, Allah is telling us, do the people of cities, communities, towns feel scared that nothing will happen, that the punishment of Allah cannot come to them at the time they least expect? Maybe they are sleeping. Maybe they never even thought about that. Are they so sure that that can never come to happen to them? Awa amina ahlul qura.
Awa amina ahlul qura ay يأتيهم بأسنا ضحى وهم يلعبون.
أو أمن أهل القرى أن يأتيهم بأسنا ضحى وهم يلعبون. Again, أو أمن أهل القرى. Do the people of the city, yes, some people talk, ulama of Tafsir will say the city of Mecca where the Rasul is living. But it is referring to that city alone, but by implication to all what? To all cities and towns. Do the people living in a community or a city feel scared and comfortable and take this for granted? That our punishment cannot come today in the daytime. At the time they are engaged in sports. Maybe engaging themselves, they are in sports, they are playing, nothing happened. So by implication, don't feel scared and feel nothing will happen. At any time Allah Ta'ala so decide, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala can bring surprises to you. Meaning in this dunya, there could be surprises. There will be surprises. Don't feel because of your technology you have conquered everything. You have now arrived at a particular position that you think nothing again can confront you. You think nothing can happen now. Your technology, you have 100% assurance that, as they said, someone, I've forgotten the date, this particular big, what do you call it, submarine, this kind of something that the person that they said, even God cannot sink it. Could you recall the story? Forgotten. Yeah, satanic. That even God cannot sink it. And that's what it. And then what happened? You see? So do people think that yes, they can arrive at a point that they feel nothing can happen? Surprises can always come. Surprises. At a point, people can be in party, in the nightclubs, and doing all these things. Suddenly, something will happen without them preparing. So that's why a Muslim lives his life bayn al-khawfi wal-raja, in between fear and hope. A Muslim is always on the alert that look, anything can happen. Therefore, because anything can happen, let me do the right thing. So that whatever thing, at whatever time anything happen, at least I will not be taken by surprise. Like death, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can send death to come to you at any time, a time you least prepare. Maybe you can be the most healthier person, very healthy. But then something can happen beyond your control. Natural issues can happen. Accidents can come. Another thing, something from somebody can come. Anything can happen. So you don't feel scared and you don't feel that nothing can happen to you. From the food you can eat, you are eating. You wouldn't know, maybe that particular morsel you are taking, there is what will be the beginning of your journey to grave. You don't know. You eat it, you take water. Maybe from that water you are taking, there may be something that may be the beginning of your journey. You take it, you never knew. So that's why when you want to start, you start with what? In the name of Allah, Bismillah. You start in the name of Allah. Allah is aware of whatever you are going to. So in everything in life, do not feel scared as a Muslim. Just at the same time that you should not lose hope in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No. A Muslim does not lose hope in the rahmah of Allah and feel that no, it's as if Allah can never forgive so and so, or Allah can never forgive me. No, it's not like that. You serve Allah bayn al-khawfi wal-raja, in between fear and also in between hope. Allah Ta'ala says, Naam.
Awa aminu makrallah. Afa aminu makrallah. فلا يأمن مكر الله إلا القوم الخاسرون.
أفأمنوا مكر الله فلا يأمن مكر الله إلا القوم الخاسرون. أفأمنوا مكر الله. Do they feel scared against the plans of Allah? Do they feel comfortable against the plans of Allah? Are they feeling that nothing will happen regarding certain things that is only known to Allah? Do they feel and take things for granted? فَلَا يَأْمُنُ مَكَرَ اللَّهِ. Nobody take Allah for granted إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ, except people that are losers. People that are losers, they are the ones that take things for granted. People that are losers, they are the ones that feel scared that nothing will happen. But for the believers, they live their life بَيْنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالرَّجَاءِ. Anything can happen, either of good or of bad. So as a result of that, you remain alert. And this is what makes the believer to be balanced in his own affair in life. Yes, if you are happy, you shouldn't go to the extreme. If you are sad, you shouldn't go to the extreme. You take things all under the control of who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who owns everything. If something happened to you that you feel this particular thing make you to feel bad or sad or it's not good, or you said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We belongs to Allah and to Him is our return. And if certain things happen, you realize that it's trying to be beyond your power or control. You say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I have no any wisdom, no strength to be able to do anything without the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are able to get something and achieve, you say, Alhamdulillah, all praises and thanks are due to Allah. It's not my power, it's not my strength. So in everything you do as a believer, you are guided by that belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by that attachment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by also looking at yourself as a creator created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the same time, the situation and the circumstance within whom you are operating is a situation or circumstance that is being controlled by who? By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything can change. So, أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكَرَ اللَّهِ. Do those particular people in those cities, do they feel comfortable and scared and take the plans of Allah for granted? فَلَا يَأْمَنُ مَكْرَ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. So what we are saying here is that as a Muslim, you have to be guided by two things. Be guided by two things. Be guided by fear as well as hope. In between fear and hope, you serve Allah Ta'ala. You are hopeful. Allah is forgiving. Allah is kind. Allah is merciful. The Jannah is very close. To be admitted into Jannah is very easy. Allah will accept and forgive. And at the same time, but look, I am weak. But look, I'm committing certain atrocities. But look, the punishment of Allah is there. But look, there are consequences to my action. But this. So in between this, you live your life. And from there, you succeed. That is, even in your prayers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about the people of Zakaria. يَدَعُونَنَا رَغَبًا وَرَهَبًا وَكَانُوا لَنَا خَاشِعِينَ. They worship us, they serve us, they pray to us. رَغَبًا وَرَهَبًا. In between hope and also fear. وَكَانُوا لَنَا خَاشِعِينَ. They are humble to us, said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in between this, between hope and fear and humility, you are humble to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are nobody. If Allah ta'ala endowed you with knowledge or resources or power or authority or whatever, there are attachments, things that Allah attach you with this. There will be a time He will separate you with these things. By the time you die, if you have the best brain you have the best speech, you have the best whatever, if you die and you are buried in the ground, and then another person that is the most foolish of all fools, and the person that can never do anything, that if he dies and he's buried also under the ground, and then you go and open that particular place after 1 or 2 months, you cannot differentiate between the two. All have gone back to their natural beginning. So don't be proud because Allah give you intelligence. Don't be proud because Allah give you money. Don't be proud because you come from a background, a family background that is noble. Don't be proud because of the power you are enjoying. So a Muslim live his life in between this. بَيْنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالرَّجَاءِ, in between hope and fear, and at the same time being humble with khushu and humility and humbleness. This will now grant success to you. So Allah is now telling us by implication, those cities and communities that were destroyed, if only they never took things for granted, if only they were in between hope and fear, if only they humbled themselves, if only they believed and lived their life guided by taqwa, they wouldn't have fallen as victims of those particular problems that happened. So this is now a lesson to other communities that follow, even our society, our country. Allah endowed us with resources, abundance of resources. For example, in our country, Nigeria, the resources are uncountable, both the human and the material resources. Look at our land, look at our environment, look at the kind of weather, look at the kind of people, look at the kind of so many things you cannot count, that if you go to other countries, probably they don't have all these things. But then because of the way a manner we conduct ourselves, you will see these particular things, instead of becoming a blessing, some of these things are turning to be just like a punishment, instead of being a blessing. So, but if we can come back to Allah, change our attitude, let's imbibe positive attitude, and then let's be guided by fear of Allah Ta'ala, let's be guided by humility and humbleness, they will enjoy all these resources. And don't tell me that, but there are other countries that also rejected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they are enjoying their resources. No. It can be physical enjoyment, but deep in them, there is no satisfaction. There is no such spiritual comfort and satisfaction. Those particular countries or cities or communities you see, if they confront Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be rest assured they will never have the peace of mind that they will enjoy even the resources they have. And that is why they will continue to be enslaved to it. They will continue to use it against ordinary human beings that are innocent. They will continue to use it to cause terror. They will continue to use it to cause more of corruption and evil on the surface of the earth, rather than utilizing it in a way and manner that will be beneficial to the community and society. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لِلَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ
أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لِلَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَهْلِهَا أَنْ لَوْ نَشَاءُ أَصَبْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ وَنَطْبَعُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ
أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لِلَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَهْلِهَا أَنْ لَوْ نَشَاءُ أَصَبْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ وَنَطْبَعُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لِلَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ. Now Allah is turning back to الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ. الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ, those are the people that now inherited the world after those predecessors have passed. Because people enjoy a particular situation or circumstance and they leave it, and then others come and inherit and continue. For example, we are not the first human being created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not the first to occupy Nigeria as a country. There were other people that were here before us, but they have all finished. Now it is our generation. After our generation, others will come. So Allah is saying, those that inherited from others, has it not come to them? Meaning, why didn't they reflect? Why didn't they study? Why didn't they take lessons? أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لِلَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَهْلِهَا. After the people that were there before, Allah nasha'u, that if we so will, that means if Allah so decide, أَصَبْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ, we also inflict them with their own sins that they are committing, and also destroy them as we have destroyed the others. Don't they feel that similar thing can happen? Well, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam have prayed and supplicated to Allah on certain things. He supplicated to Allah on certain things, and Allah granted him. And among those things, the Prophet said, I pray to Allah that after my coming, the whole world should never be destroyed as it was destroyed at the time of Noah alayhi salam. Allah Ta'ala said, I have answered that, meaning the whole world will never be destroyed at once. Rather, problems and calamities and troubles can come here and there. The Prophet ﷺ asked again that the enemies of Muslims should never have power over the Muslims. And Allah accepted. It is only if there is the hand of the Muslim also together with the enemy. But if the whole world will be in one place, Muslims all together as Muslims, even if the whole world will gather against them, they can never defeat them. They can never defeat them. And that is why the call to unity is very important. If Muslims can be united under the banner of La ilaha illallah, if they can all be united, the world can never defeat the Muslims. And all these kind of so painful things that the Muslims are passing through across the globe, if there is no hand of other people that also are part of the Muslims in name or in whatever, that will never have happened to the Muslims. It will never. It will never have happened to the Muslims. But then, so the other thing is the issue of division among the Muslims. Divisions among the Muslims. This one, Allah Ta'ala left it, it will continue. So we'll get a reward from what? Working hard to see that we did not create more opponents for this particular division, fighting, chorus, and whatever. I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. So what we are saying here is that if the believers can be on one place and all of them are believers, nobody will defeat them. Nobody will defeat the believers. But that is why the enemies of Islam, what they usually do is to recruit among the Muslims, to brainwash some of the Muslims, to also employ and use some of the Muslims, because they understand all these things. So it's high time as Muslims to understand the importance of coming together. I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. So Allah Ta'ala is now saying, أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لِلَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْأَرْضَ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَهْلِهَا. Those that inherited the earth, or the world, or the community, or the society, after those people that were there, didn't they take lessons? And لَوْ نَشَاءُ, if only we have will, Allah Ta'ala, أَصَبْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ, will have inflicted them with also their sins. Now look at, we mentioned the people of Noah alayhi salam, how they reject the truth and they became adamant in holding to their culture and tradition. And then even asked Prophet Noah, whatever he wants to do, let him do. And then Allah destroyed them. In our community, are there no people like this? That they will be so adamant, whatever you tell them, they don't even want to listen. They will abuse the Quran, abuse Islam, abuse this, and tell you, let whatever happen, happens. Are there no people like this? There are. Look at the people of Ad. The people of Ad, those that Allah Ta'ala sent Nabiuna Hud to them. These were giant, strong, powerful people. They are part of those people that Allah Ta'ala was saying, the people that will say, who is more stronger and powerful than us? They take pride in their power. Are there no people today that feel that they have military might? Is it nuclear or whatever power that nobody can confront them? Are there no people like that? Look at the people of Salih alayhi salam, Samud. The people of Salih alayhi salam, how they also did with Salih alayhi salam. We've mentioned That was a community or society that are highly skilled. They are highly skilled in construction, in engineering, in town planning, in whatever. They carve cities within the rocks. They do all these things. So they feel proud because of their skills, because of their engineering, because of their technology, that nothing will happen to them. Why they not destroyed? They were destroyed. Are there no people like this in our community or society? They feel that, yes, we have just talked about the Titanic, isn't it? When now they say they have constructed a ship that even God cannot sink it. And at the end, it ended up destroyed. There are people that are thinking that even if anything will happen in this world, they can go away and go to other planets and stay. That they have arrived regarding conquering the entire world. Yes. So you talk about this. Then you think about the people of Lut, which we have mentioned. The people of Lut that make life, that leave everybody to live in freedom. Let him enjoy whatever he wants to enjoy. They engage themselves in, what do you call it, act of man meeting man, homosexualism, lesbianism, and so they don't have sexual control. Everything, to go and enjoy yourself anyhow. And then they were destroyed. Are there no societies and communities promoting this kind of thing and even backing it by law? That allow everybody to enjoy himself freely. Even in terms of gender, they are saying apart from male and female, there is another gender. There is another. Sometimes they will say if they are right gender, they said male, female, and others. I was asking, who are these others? We know there is male, there is women. They will like others. So people are there doing so many other things. Allah Ta'ala told us about people that change the creation of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. That the Iblis said, he will push them like يُغَيِّرَنَّ خَلْقَ اللَّهِ. They will be changing the form of creation of Allah. They will change the human being. They will change the gender. They will change this thing. Allah told us, the devil said that he will push people up to that particular level. Changing this, look at how people are changing even the atmospheric blessings that Allah Ta'ala have blessed us. The ozone layer that people are talking about, there are a lot of industrial things that is being done that is causing so many other harm. So the people of Noah, the people of Ad, the people of Samud, look at the people of Madian, the people of Shu'aib, whom we have discussed. We recently discussed that, how they promote corruption to every level. Just everything economic should be to their advantage, even if it is the advantage of the other person. His disadvantage, they don't mind. So if they want to measure, they want their own to be full, your own, let it be anything. And then they go to the extent of stopping at the road, to be blocking people and then attacking people to collect their money and resources. Isn't it the same thing as banditry, kidnapping? People of Shu'aib engaged in this, all they were destroyed. So Allah is telling us that, look, these societies, different communities and societies came and claimed certain things, but at the end they were wiped away. Do your society feel scared that nothing will happen and you continue to do all these things? Well, Allah have granted a grace. Continue to live. But there are consequences. You come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَوْ نَشَاءُ أَصَبْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ وَنَتْبَعُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ. And then we now seal their own hearts, their mind, their hearts become sealed. Therefore, فَهُمْ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ. They don't listen. They don't hear. They don't hear. So they don't hear the words of wisdom. They don't hear the word of wisdom. All they want to hear is they want to hear what will make them enjoy this dunya. From where? From dunya. Where are you going? Dunya. What are you scared of? Dunya. What do you want? Dunya. Everything dunya. Allah said, أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا لَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا لَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. People that have eyes, but they don't see with it. What does that mean? They don't see with it. Yes, they have eyes. They see the difference of colors. They have eyes. They see faces. They see forms. They see these things. But they don't see beyond the physical. They don't see beyond what they are seeing. And the seeing is not just for them to see this physical and light and whatever. It's to see beyond this. They don't see that. And they have ears. They don't hear. Because all they hear sound and movement and other things that ordinary animals also hear. They don't hear beyond this. What spiritually will enrich them. They have heart. They have hearts. They have minds. They have conscience. But the conscience is diseased. They don't look beyond the material. So Allah said, "Ulaika kal an'am." How can you differentiate this with other animals? But Allah said, how can you differentiate this with other animals that have also those characteristics of living things? How can you differentiate them? You can differentiate them only if they knew from the previous verses we mentioned Allah sent His rahmah from the skies. And the rahmah is the rainfall that is coming, isn't it? Particles of water, particles of air, wind, they come together and they bring rain, which is a blessing. But the same rain that is coming from particles of water, the same rain is powerful that it can destroy cities, isn't it? The same wind is powerful that it can destroy cities. But Allah now converts it into a manner that will benefit mankind. So that rahmah that Allah Ta'ala sent that people are using, the same thing Allah sent revelation. Very soft verses and ayats that should have gone to the heart and mind and changed that particular heart and mind. But rather, some people's heart and mind have been sealed. So at the end, they become destroyed and condemned. So people that cannot see beyond the material, people that cannot walk beyond the physical, people that cannot walk beyond the dunya, these people, you cannot differentiate them from other animals. Allah Ta'ala said, "Balhum adal," they are even worse. Ulaika humul ghafilun. These are heedless. They never knew the meaning of life. If you should ask them what is the meaning of life, they will never explain. What's the purpose of life? They will never explain. The purpose of life is it just to eat, drink, enjoy, and die? That's all? No, there is something beyond that. And that's after death. You don't consider that death is the end of everything. No, death is the beginning of another journey. Death is the beginning of another journey for accountability to eternity. So death is not the end. If you die, don't think everything is over. Maybe you have committed atrocities. The law have not catched on you. You have committed atrocities because you are powerful. You have killed these people. You destroyed these people. You maimed these people. You are powerful. And you think everything is over. No, it's not over. It's not over. So if they can think beyond this, and that is why whenever Nabi Sallallahu in so many places, he want to guide the Muslims to do something good, he said, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir." If truly you believe in Allah and believe that there is life after this dunya, then do this, this, and that. If you believe there is life after this dunya, then you will take this particular dunya very serious. And you will invest in this dunya because you believe there is. But if you do not believe, then you just go ahead with everything. You remember the example I gave last week or last 2 weeks regarding CCTV, right? Regarding CCTV. Just of recent, we heard of a handset that was stolen by somebody. By somebody in masjid. Do you think that person believe Allah is seeing him? Do you believe that that person believe Allah is seeing him? If he had believed that there is CCTV, he knew what CCTV is. And he knew what CCTV can do. And he is told that there are CCTVs all around. And he knew what CCTV can do. He believed in what CCTV. Will he come and steal that particular thing? Why? Because he believed in what CCTV can do. But then, did he believe that Allah is seeing him? If he believes Allah is seeing him, will he take it while Allah is seeing him and will punish him? So it means there is question mark regarding belief in Allah. There is question mark regarding belief in Akhirah. If people continue to do everything and don't care and mind the consequences, then there is question mark whether they actually believe that there is something to come after this. May Allah assist us. So these are the people. We have sealed their hearts, so they don't see. If the heart is covered and is diseased, then that particular heart will not see the light and will not be able to comprehend the light. Not to talk of using the light for its own benefit. May Allah assist us. And that's why Rasulullah said there is a portion of the human body, of the human self. If that particular portion is diseased, the entire body is diseased. If that particular portion is clean, then the entire body will be clean. And that is the human conscience, the belief, the heart, the mind. That particular thing that push you to differentiate between good and bad. That thing that will make you to appreciate what is good and also appreciate what is bad. If that is corrupted, then you can't get anything right. And that is why, as I said, we are talking about what? Attitudinal modeling. Attitudes, beliefs. What are those things that are motivating us and pushing us to do what we are doing? If that is not changed, hardly can any positive change come to the community or society. But if the attitude is changed, if the thinking is changed, if the direction of belief and other things is changed positively, then it becomes very easy for the community to change. You imagine, only one particular verse will invite the Sahaba to change, complete change from one thing to the other. The Prophet met Mecca or the Jaziratul Arab or the entire world in a kind of world, in the kind of society and community that is so much indulged into so many negatives, a lot of negatives. A society that will bury daughters alive, a society that have taken intoxicants as normal, a society that have taken killing life because you have the authority and power is normal, a society that have taken usury as part of life, a society that have no regard for immorality of morals, a society that all this is in 23 years Rasul changed the whole story. In 23 years, everything changed. Why? Because there is something that was changed. Their attitude, their thinking, their belief was changed. So it become easier when a command come, leave this thing. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about alcohol and whatever, they say intahayna. Can't you leave this? They say we have left it. So in the city of Medina, after alcohol was completely banned, you come out, you see as if it has rained. People that have even hidden their own, all of them started bringing it out. Nobody was talking to them because one verse came and said, why can't you leave this thing? Completely they abandoned it. And the whole society become clean because of that revelation. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them that, look, one person just went, some companions, they were praying and looking at one direction. He said, but I had a verse was revealed that you should change to this direction. They were praying, instantly they turned and then faced the new direction. I mean, their attitude, their thinking, their belief, their psychology, their distance were changed. So it becomes easy for them to imbibe new things. That is good. But if that is not changed, our country, Nigeria, unless we change some of our attitude beliefs regarding certain things. I talk about leadership. There are some that think leadership is an opportunity to get money. Leadership is an opportunity to get wealth. Leadership is an opportunity for you now to do this thing. Unless that particular thinking is changed, to see that leadership is service. And leadership calls for accountability. And that accountability, not only in this dunya, accountability in akhirah, is an opportunity for you to get Jannah through leadership, but also opportunity for you to go to hell. If you are good and sound in your leadership, you can be the first people to be admitted into Jannah. Sab'atun yuzilluhumullahu fi zillihi yawma la zilla illa zilluh. He said, Imamun adilun. The first person to be admitted into Jannah, a leader who is just. So it means leadership can earn you Jannah to be among the first people to enter. But at the same time, your injustice, your unfairness to leadership can land you into hell. And then if our thinking, our psychology also is changed towards responsibility, we will take the responsibilities of our children very serious. We can't have this situation, abandoning children. Yesterday I was going back, I saw a troop of children lying, these particular people begging, a line, all of them with plates in their hands, looking for, do these people don't have parents? Do they come from the skies and just drop? No, they have parents. They have people that have become irresponsible. They have abandoned their responsibility. Sorry to use the word. That is what exactly I think should be said. That they have abandoned their, they never knew. Or they have abandoned, or they were not enlightened. I don't know. That Allah said, Kullu mawludu yuladu ala al-fitra. Every child come to this dunya clean and okay and sound. The first people that destroy children are Rasul said about his parents. The parents are the first people responsible for destruction of children. Don't be blaming government, blaming the rich people, blaming the first people that have promoted evil in terms of destroying children are the parents. But you do your best first. If it goes beyond your best, Allah knows your best. And that's why he cited the case of Nuh alayhi salam. But do you think these particular parents have taken that responsibilities? No. And that's why the whole society and community is suffering. Muslim community, Muslim society. Look at the north, where you now boast of plenty number of Muslims. But then what value this particular number is given to this particular part of the globe? And look at these things. We have to speak to the truth to ourselves. These are wrong things we are doing. In the name of sending children to go and learn Islamic this thing, you abandon them to live their own life, to take care of themselves. Sometimes you begin to see small children of age that this particular child cannot even go to primary school. He's not even ready for primary school. You see this child moving around with plates that he has been sent to go and look for. Wallahi, Allah will call these people to account because they have abandoned a responsibility that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to take care of very well. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you should marry and have children so that I'll be proud of you on the day of the Qiyamah. Rasul will only be proud with people that have integrity. Will be proud with people that have quality, not quantity, not number. And that's why when he said, on the day of the Qiyamah, you will see people in huge number coming. And then I will be calling my ummah or my ummah. It will be said to me that these people have changed. They have not done. I will say, fasuhuk and suhuk and so. God, you are not part of my ummah. May Allah protect, because you abandon what you are supposed to do. So we have to take our responsibility with all the seriousness it deserves. It is only then that we can get it right. And how do we do that? We have to change the attitude. The way and manner we look at all these things. Why do we get married? Why do we marry? Why do we get children? What is the purpose of getting children? What is the purpose of marriage? What is the purpose of having a home? Even education, what is the purpose of getting education? Is it just for you to go and get certificates? Is it just for you to be able to deliver lectures? You want to become an alim, a scholar, just for people to listen to you and then to hail you, to say takbirat to you? Is that the purpose? Is that the aim of getting your education? Oh no, I mean, we need to change the way and manner we think about things. There were days that we don't have scholars with this number of scholars we have today, but they brought change to their community and societies. Why? Because the scholarship was with sincerity. And the scholarship was for something to benefit the community. Do you know that Sheikh Usman bin Fodi, Sheikh Abdullah bin Fodi, Muhammad Bello, these particular people to get all their knowledge and education with this environment? They never traveled far. But Sheikh Abdullah wrote a book regarding Arabic that he's being referred to as Black Arab because of the fluency of Arabic he has and the kind of, the kind of knowledge and expertise he exhibits in terms of explaining Arabic discipline. Sheikh Abdullah bin Fodi. And then look at the type of, they wrote books, over 500 volumes and different types. In fact, some of these books, you don't get them here. Someone told me, you go to the British Library and others, you get some of the books that were written by Sheikh Usman bin Fodi, Abdullah bin Fodi and co. These were people that were intellectuals in this country when the Western education has not come. Once upon a time, in this country, there was a time, it were only the Muslims that could read and write. Only the Muslims. If you see anybody reading and writing, is a Muslim. Because they are the ones that have this particular script that has come to them. The Western education have not come then. Look at Asma, the daughter of Sheikh bin Fodi. Asma was, someone that is, I don't know how to describe her, highly intellectual person in terms of writing. She wrote poems in Fulfunde, that's Fulani. She wrote in Arabic, she wrote in Hausa, and then she wrote in which other language? The daughter of Sheikh bin Fodi. At the time, I was reading someone posted something to me last week that he said he was comparing the time of Asma'u with the time of Abraham Lincoln, and that what he got about the story, is it about the mother of Abraham Lincoln also? I'm sorry, I may not relate it correctly, but he was saying that one of the good quality they gave about his mother is she is able to write her name, so she is literate. Do you get what? She was able to write her name, and so she is literate. So at that particular time, that was within that particular time that Asma here can write books in volumes in another language and different languages. That was the same time. If I remember, if I get the clip one time, I'll come and if some of you have seen it, someone posted and was giving lecture. So this is a highly intellectual community. The Western colonialists never came and met us as people that don't know what we are doing. They came and met us with our education. They came and met us with our system of governance. They came and met us well organized. A community that is well trained. You see, even in terms of clothing, they have decent clothing, decent dressing, decent community and society, all these things. But today, look at how we have turned out to be. Look at how we have turned out to be. So something happened, and those particular things are the things that we need to look inward. How do we change this particular thinking in us, that in everything, in all indices of development you take, you begin to see the Muslims behind. The Muslims behind. And sorry, not only the Muslims in the north, even the southwest, we have Muslims that were there before the coming of the colonialists. But still, you go back, if you are taking statistics of certain things happening within the Yoruba Muslim brothers you have, sometimes you see as if it's the non-Muslims only that are progressing. Representing, but there are people there in economy, in education, in governance, as if the Muslims are not there. So the Muslims need to change our what? Our attitude. And that's why we're talking about attitudinal change. Let's learn how to bring ourselves together to appreciate why we are living as Muslims. Let's learn how to respect one another, to understand the goal and objective that Islam has set us so that we should pursue. Not this issue of fighting, quarreling, arguing, discussing. Everyone looking at the other person as less important, everyone looking at himself as more important, and this and that. We can't go anywhere. So I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. Sorry, I'm digressing, but it's still on this. Allah says, if the heart and the mind and the conscience is sealed, then people don't hear and understand what to do. And at the end, things cannot get shaped. I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. And that is why, as I'm saying, it's a prayer, it's a hope we have that inshallah one day we'll work towards how do we get people that at least will have this kind of thinking and reasoning. That was what prompted us to register our association. We call it IC, Islamic Scholars and Expert Community Development Initiative. in Nigeria. We have elders that we are bringing together. Experts. Don't say that I cannot recite Quran, influence Arabic. No, you are an expert in your area. You have value and you have what to add. And then if you feel you are a scholar that is an expert, either in hadith or in Quran or in Lugha, Balaga, Mantiq, Sarf, and whatever you can think of Arabia or other fields of knowledge, come also. Why can't we bring ourselves together? Our experts, our scholars, our intelligent students, come together. Let's confront the problem of this community and society together and see if we cannot bring a change. We can. Allah has not denied us everything. Allah has given us, but either that we are taking things for granted or we never had a time to look inward and see our history and see where we are and see the future that is confronting us. If we refuse to do the right thing, what are we expecting to happen? And then if we do the right thing, what do we think Allah will not do for us? And I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us. So inshallah we're going to stop here. And if Allah spare our life, we continue from the next verse. Tilkal Qura naqussu alayka min anba'iha. May Allah bless us, guide us, and be with us. Inshallah. The question here, I think is also one question. This one said, Assalamu alaikum. I think yes. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. God bless Madam and his Alaramma. I mean, what is the rule for the kiki man that leave his money due to angry towards customer that reject spoil money to him as a change? The customer urged him to find change or present his account number for transfer, but failed, and they go away. This one is in trouble. Do you understand the question? I think I understand the question very well. So this is someone that a KK man engaged him. Maybe he was, what do you call it? He joined a KK rider, and then he gave the KK rider his money. The person rejected because maybe the money is all old, there is no change. And then he became angry, and then he went and left this money. So this one is in trouble with this money, isn't it? So what will he do with the money? Yes, you are in trouble, very serious trouble. You have to ensure that in everything you do in life, you pay the person that has served you. You pay the person that has served you. Do you know, if you read business transactions, if you go to Risala, sometimes I used to say that we need to go back to our books that we are just looking down upon. If you go to our books where our scholars are explaining how to transact business, they said change, looking for change, is not the responsibility of the person that you buy his resources. In normal, our scholars say, looking for change is your responsibility who bought his own property. You are the one to give him his money. So looking for change is your responsibility, it's not his responsibility. You don't add another burden to him. I don't know in our contemporary business transaction what is, but this is what, go and study our books of fiqh and see how to conduct business and the right of the person that is selling, the right of the person that is buying, and the kind of conditions attached in Islam. So in this particular case, you are supposed to have looked for the change, or tell him before you enter that, look, I have change, or do you have change? Do you get the point? So that I can tell you that, yes, I have change. If he tells you you have change, then fine and good. At least you have prepared the ground. If at the end he said he didn't have change, then that's another thing. Or if you make the arrangement that no, he will look for the change, then that's a pre-arrangement before that. So he will go and look for the change. But you just don't enter, you have to pay him 30 naira, and then you enter with 1,000 naira. And then you now begin to ask him that, look, this is 1,000, give me change. And then he begins to tell you, you don't have to, and he becomes angry. So you are in trouble. So what you should do is, one, you didn't have the mind of cheating the person, isn't it? So try your best to search for him. Try your best what? Search for him, look for him, so that you give him back his money. But if you have done your best, you couldn't get him, what do? You give sadaqah with that money, but then with the mindset that anytime you see him, you still give him back. That's what our scholar says. Regarding if you pick something, you should take one complete year looking for the honor. If after one complete year you couldn't get the honor, then you can now give it out as sadaqah, but with the mindset that if that particular owner should come back, you will pay him back. Then it is then that we say, okay, you are on safe ground. May Allah assist us. Remember the case of, I narrated this story about 3 years ago in one of our Tafsir. I think even last year I narrated also. The issue of someone that borrowed money Do you remember that issue? And he borrowed money from another person. He borrowed money and said, the person that was giving him the money said, can you give a witness? He said, Allah is enough as a witness. He said, okay, I'm comfortable. And then, can you give any evidence of this? He said, Allah is enough. So he gave him the money. After he gave him the money, he took it that after the next season, he's going to return back the money to him. So he came back. At the same time, he got the exact money, he came back. On his way coming back, he now came and met the river in between the two cities has overflown. And there was no canoe for him to cross. He looked around, He became worried and disturbed. I have collected somebody's money, and this is the time for me to repay him. And I have come here, and there is no access for me to cross. What will I do? He stayed there worried. He was disturbed. He never knew what to do. He said, oh Allah, you have seen the situation I am. I want to pay this thing. And this is the situation I am. The other person who gave the money was at the other river bank, at the other side. He came waiting for this person. He was waiting. He now began to lose hope that maybe this person will not come. So this person at the other side never knew there was no handset then. You know, if there is handset, you can communicate. He was there. So at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided him another handset. So at the end, he now folded the money. He folded the money. He said, oh Allah, this I have taken promise to pay back, but I cannot be able to do because of this. And it's not my making. So he took a dried wood. He now cut the wood into two and took the money and put it inside and tied it. And then threw it and said, Allah, this is the best I can do. He threw it into the river. The best I can do. He went back. So he went back to his town. When he went back to his town, he started working and sourcing for that money because he knew he has not handed over the money. So he started working and sourcing for the money to come and pay. Then this particular person at the other river bank that was waiting, he waited, he never see this particular person coming until when the day is about going. So he said, well, before he go home, let him at least pack some firewood so that he can take to his wife to prepare. So in packing firewood by the side of the river bank, this particular wood happened to be part of the firewood. So he took it. He never knew it was the money. He took to his wife and then abandoned it with the family and then continued his normal distance that, well, the other person didn't come, so what will I do? So after a while, this particular woman preparing the wood, do you get the point? She now saw something inside. She now brought it to this person that, look, this is a money that is worth this, and that. He looked at the money equivalent to his own money, exactly as that of his money. And then in another narration of the story, I said there was written something, but then he took it like that. So when he took it, he became and said, well, this is exactly my money. This is the exact amount. But this person is not the one that brought it. So he went and kept it. I said, I will not use this money because it's not yet my own. So he kept it there. So after the year, now it's a dry season, this person now got the equivalent amount of money and started a fresh journey. So he came, he crossed the city, he went to this particular gentleman. So they greeted, they chatted, he said, long years. He said, it's true. He said, that promise that I have promised to take your money, you gave me. You asked me who is the witness. I said, Allah is a witness, and you trusted me. And from that, I came at that particular moment to pay this particular. He said, no, keep quiet. That money you have promised to pay me, God have paid it on your behalf because the exact amount is with me now. God have paid it on your own behalf, so I don't think I will collect it. This person said, no, I know I have not handed it over to you. I come to hand over this thing to you. He said, no, but this is that. He said, okay. So they now confirm that it is okay, true. So this one now go back to it. It is on this thing, and then this one. Between these two, who is the most honest? Both of them. The receiver or that particular. So it's a debate now for you. You know, we are good in debate. That's the that's the whole thing we are good in. We are good in debate. I will continue to be debating this one. So, but this is the attitude of people. It's a hadith. This is the attitude of people before us. Another incident happened. I also narrated the story here about someone. This particular person sold a land. He sold a land to another person. This person bought the land. When he bought the land, he started preparing the land for building. So in the process of preparing the land, he was building digging the foundation. In the process of digging the foundation, he saw a pot full of, they used to hide this thing then. So he saw one of it with money. So when he saw it, he said, this is a huge amount of money. He took it out. So he went now and traced the person that sold the land to him and told him that, gentleman, the land you sold to me, while I was digging, I saw a pot full of gold. And I know I bought land from you, so I'm returning back this pot to you. This person looked at it and said, but what I understand about transaction is that when you came, you say you wanted to buy the whole of this thing for me, and I sold it for you. I didn't make any exception. I am scared not to have cheated you. Therefore, I can't collect it. Just go. Because I have already said I have sold everything to you. This person said, no, I can't go with it. You have to receive it back. He said, no, I can't collect it. You have to go with it. People are laughing here. You must collect it. He said, no, you must go with it. They were arguing. So when it became heated debate, they said, how are we going to settle this matter? Say, okay, let's go to the king and told him what happened. So they went and reported themselves. So the king now called them and said, okay, do you have family? Say, I have family. How about you? Do you have family? Say, I have family. Do you have daughters? He say, I have daughters. Do you have male? He say, I have. Okay, give your own female daughter to his own male son. Let them marry together and give them this wealth. And that was that. So you see, if you see the stories of our predecessors, who were changed by the Quran, you begin to see us that, who are we that this Quran is not changing us? What is going on? What is happening? So I pray Allah Ta'ala assist us and be with us. So this person that did not pay that kekema, if you are in trouble, you have to find ways of paying. Don't say that Allah have given you fatwa, you should go and use the money. No, you still have to find the means of paying him. But if you cannot pay him, la yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa what is beyond your power, Allah will not hold you responsible. And what is beyond your power, you couldn't trace the person, you couldn't find ways of doing, so you have now given it out as sadaqah. Anytime you meet the person, you are ready to pay him back. Allah will not hold you responsible. I pray Allah Ta'ala bless us, guide us, and be with us. Inshallah, we have come to the end of today's tafsir. Whatever I said which is correct, may Allah reward me and you, and assist us to implement the best out of it. And whatever I said which is wrong, may Allah forgive me and you and take it away from our minds and make it possible for us to get corrections. As we mentioned, we are closing the tafsir on the 25th. That is on Tuesday, inshallah. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless all what we have discussed and will make it impactful to us, to our ummah, to our community, and also rewarding to us in this dunya and also in akhirah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma hadina subul salam. Allahumma najjina min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur bi rahmatika ya rabbal alamin. Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا فاعف عنا يا كريم واغفر لنا وارحمنا يا أرحم الراحمين لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث أصلح لنا شأننا كله اللهم اجعل القرآن ربيع قلوبنا وجلاء أحزاننا وذهاب همومنا وغمومنا وسائقنا وقائدنا إليك وإلى جناتك جنات النعيم اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وأطراف النهار برحمتك يا رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وآل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.